Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrish, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to another fun-filled Friday night on the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, that evil supervillain in New Jersey twirling his mustache. It is.
Oh no, he's muted.
Yeah, you're muted, sir.
That was Charlie the Professor Esser. And then I did a last. Charlie the Professor Esser.
Once you open this top one, you're going to check out the music kids. And also joining us, mothers to strays everywhere. It is.
Hey y'all, it's Little Hellfire Friday night. You know what that means.
A bang. It's coming in with a bang.
That's why I was muted, because I was like, I didn't want the pop on recording. So.
That's the best part.
Oh,
at the microphone.
By the way, I just want everyone to know, pay for the full video on those Hard R movie reviews. My tip to you.
Hello.
You're going to never be able to unsee what you saw.
Hot reviews and old
and hot men too.
Fully frosted knockers.
My knockers are fully frosted.
Hot men and cold pizza.
All right.
And don't forget our next Hard R movie review. My pick.
Toxic.
The Toxic Avenger, the original. The one that started it all. I do it for free. The pure 80s glory of it.
And twice
on never lived until Maz has given you a ping. He does ping better than anyone I know.
All right, let's get into. All right, we'll get the reviews. I will start us off here. Hopefully no one reports me for child abuse. I took my son to see Snake Eyes today.
Yeah, so that was good, right? That was a fun
romp.
Oh, sure, it was peachy.
Was it just extra violent? I mean, it's called Snake Eyes. So.
No. It's PG-13. I mean, it's
okay.
Wasn't. I mean, people were getting stabbed, and it still wasn't like we weren't seeing much blood.
So it wasn't like Deadpool level.
No. Yeah, no.
Actually, G.I. Joe Retaliation is on my TV right now in the background as we're talking. So
okay, all right. Let's start off. I mean,
are you watching FX?
No, it's called Fave TV. It's over broadcast.
Oh.
Yes.
Because FX always kind of does that. Like whenever there's a new Marvel movie, they'll play like a marathon. Whenever there's like X-Men movie, they'll play a marathon.
When it's an MCU movie, I think half those channels start playing Marvel movies. TV.
I don't think they can anymore. I've only seen them on FX, and now Disney Plus FX.
I swear when Black Widow was out, was it TBS?
Or maybe Freeform.
Actually, because they actually own like several of the channels, so there's lots of places for them to put their own content. They own all the FXs, they own Freeform, they own ABC, they own ESPN if they want to do the sports of superhumans. But
all right, so yes, this Snake Eyes. They start off with a flashback, of course, and they gave him the Batman flashback. The Batman origin, his father gets killed in front of him.
What? That's not how his father. Okay,
that's not Snake Eyes.
No, it's him as a kid, and like.
Is that Storm Shadow story, or is this Snake? Because I heard that it was a great Storm Shadow film.
Storm Shadow's in here, but that has nothing to do with him yet. Yeah, because he's like a kid, and like his father takes him to a cabin, a safe house, and it's like because later we find out his father was a Joe. But
okay.
but his father gets killed in front of him. And instead of Harvey Dent flipping a coin, the guy who kills him's like, "Here, roll these dice, and if whatever you roll, you live or die." And of course, what does he roll?
Snake Eyes.
Oh,
this is okay. So they've completely thrown out the Larry Hama origin.
Oh yeah.
Which,
Well, they kind of had to, because this isn't really connected to that. It's connected to the IDW stuff. So,
but IDW doesn't own it either. They can use all the Larry Hama stuff. Marvel doesn't own Larry Hama's.
Hell, Larry Hama.
I thought that IDW was getting money off the back end, which is why they tied in the comic books and stuff.
So
like
they
that
did the less interesting stuff, not the good stuff that Larry Hama wrote when he defined who these characters were for a generation.
So his
your generation.
So his father gets killed, and then we just flash forward 20 years, and Snake Eyes. We never find out his real name. Snake Eyes is just going from underground fight.
As it should be, Philip. It would have been worse if they gave him a name.
I know,
fair enough.
But he's just going from underground fight club to underground fight club, making money. We never learn where he learns to fight. There's no mention ever of a coach or a teacher or a sensei. None of this.
He's a copycat. He's Taskmaster.
Okay, and I can only go off of the classic Larry Hama origin of Snake Eyes.
Yeah, you should have listened to the comic capers we did, where we basically did the prep for the miniseries. This is kind of loosely based on.
Okay, so was he trained by the Hard Master and the Soft Master? Did he become a part of Storm Shadow's family in that sense? We eventually get in the backstory?
In the movie, he does kind of become Storm Shadow's next in line for that. What is that clan? Ashkani or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then they become friends, and there's this Yakuza. Well, first this Yakuza boss tells Snake Eyes, because Snake Eyes is searching for the guy who killed his father. He's like, I can find him for you, but you got to do something for me. So Snake Eyes makes friends with Storm Shadow and tries to get in with the clan because they guard a magic rock which we see later. If someone holds it, they can vaporize people, or they have a personal force field around them. But there's
a magic rock in a G.I. Joe film.
Yes, but they're not. But they're never.
You have to remember that Cobra Commander is actually a magical snake person from up in the Andes Mountains.
Oh, don't even get me started on.
No, the Himalayas.
Whatever, same difference.
Cobra.
Same difference.
And again, not the Larry Hama story, though that was the Marvel produced G.I. Joe story that also played fast and loose with the origins. And that's because they said, no, we have this new toy. Sell this toy. And so they sold the toy. But, okay, here's the question. And it's because I was most mad because we see Snake Eyes' face. We hear Snake Eyes talking, yada, yada, yada. Do they at least melt his face off at the end of the film?
No. At the end of the movie, he leaves full face, full voice, just throws that helmet on, hops on a motorcycle, and is taken off after Storm Shadow because him and Storm Shadow become friends, and the clan's gonna take Snake.
Oh, it's G.I. Joe Fast and Furious. Gotcha.
Well, yeah, family, but then Snake Eyes kind of betrays them because again, it's he gives the magic stone to this Yakuza guy. And he's like, okay, here's the guy who killed your father. And, Snake Eyes is like, why did you kill my father? He's like, I take orders from Cobra. That guy you just gave the rock to. So then,
Wait, the guy is the Yakuza guy the Cobra Commander? What?
No. He was a member of the clan that got kicked out.
Because you gotta remember, basically, Cobra Command was just a bunch of rich mercenaries who got to get together.
I forget if he was a cousin or he was some relation.
Well, I mean, I'm okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm okay with him doing the Yakuza where Cobra grows out of the Yakuza, whatever.
Well, the way they mention it, because they do bring in Scarlet. She was actually good, but Cobra is just a bunch of different organizations all working under one banner, which is Cobra.
So, but the guy is Cobra. So the guy that kills his father, is it what's his name, Firefly, or
no? Wait, I don't think we even
one of the guys we know.
I don't think we even get a name for him. No, it's just some
rando.
That hairy guy. Yeah.
Is it Zartan?
No.
Let it be Zartan.
Again, I don't think we even got a name, regular or not, for this guy. But
Buzz or Ripper. Come on.
But the Yakuza guy, I don't think he's technically Cobra, but he was working with Cobra, like they were helping him overthrow the clan, and so he would give them the rock.
Okay, does the rock at least power a weather dominator?
No, I said you can vaporize people with your mind if you're holding this rock, or have a force field around you.
It'd be better if it was part of the weather dominator. Then I could say, okay, I understand what they're doing.
It's almost,
I see where they're going with this.
It's very dollar store version of like an Infinity Stone, except it's big. It's you hold it. You got to hold the whole.
It's like more an Infinity Rock, except it's not an Infinity Rock. It does two things. It's the two things rock.
It's like a small vase, but with no hole on top.
It does two things. I can make a force field, or I can do an obliterator.
And like I said, like we got Scarlet in this. She was good. That's kind of how we introduced G.I. Joe. And at the end there, she tells Snake Eyes, "Oh, your father was a Joe, and we could use your help," and blah 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 blah. And then the Baroness is also in this. Oh my god!
Okay.
Oh my god! I swear,
the Baroness is not good.
I swear. I don't know if they told her to do this, but I swear every time she says a line, she either does stuff with her hair or she's a poser.
She's a poser. Yes. Well, that is she at least wearing a leather bodysuit while she's doing it?
I don't know if it was leather, but she was wearing some kind of
So it was form fitting.
Yeah.
Does she have the big glasses? She's got to have the glasses too.
She does have glasses. Yes, she does.
Does she have a heavy, a heavy vague accent?
No.
Maybe some kind of European. No.
I really no. I think she sounded pretty American to me. Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll allow it.
So
we're allowing everything else in this episode, so why not?
So after Snake Eyes, figures out, oh well, the guy trying to overthrow the clan, ordered my father's murder. He goes back and helps the clan try to get the rock back. And at one point, Storm Shadow picks it up, and to defend his clan, vaporizes some people. But then at the end, they're like, "Oh no, you have to get out." I think his mother or his grandmother leads the clan. She's like, "No, you have to leave." We all swore an oath never to use the rock. He's like, "But I used it to defend the clan." He's like, "That don't matter." So he basically throws a tantrum and leaves, and that's when.
So was the clan's rock?
They were, I guess,
the protectors of the rock.
Yeah, they're always tasked to protect it, but never use it because they have, they have like a magic door in the wall. But yeah.
So okay, let me see if I follow the plot line here. Okay, so Storm Shadow's clan protects the rock.
Yes.
Snake Eyes gets hired to steal the rock.
Yes.
Snake Eyes steals the rock, gives it to Cobra.
Yes.
Then he teams up with Storm Shadow to get the rock back.
Oh no! Wait! That's the best part because he like I said, he gave it to the evil Yakuza guy who was supposed to give it to the Baroness for Cobra in exchange for them helping him overthrow the clan. But then once they kind of have the clan at gunpoint, she's like, "Okay, you can give us the rock now," and then he double crosses her. So Baroness teams up with the rest of them to take this guy down.
So Cobra teams up against the Yakuza.
Well, the Baroness, because Baroness is basically the only Cobra member we know there. So, but yeah,
but she is she's the official of the Cobra group. So basically, this guy pulls a Ronin the Accuser on her and says, "You know what? Now I got the rock, my rock. I'm gonna go blow up that planet I don't like." Exactly. And then she challenges him to a dance off, and.
Well, you know how they take him out. Like I said, you can vaporize people, you can blow stuff up with if you're holding this rock. So they load a cart full of explosives and push it at him, and then when he goes to blow it up, he blows himself up.
That's not how. Why wouldn't he just use the rock to make the force field?
As soon as we're done here, Lil's gonna watch this.
I'm just saying. Well, are you sure? I guess it's fine, and
I got to rant about something on TikTok. Why not Snake Eyes?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like I said. It just seems like they don't know who Snake Eyes is. Oh, see, they had a Zartan reveal in G.I. Joe Retaliation, and there's not even a Zartan in this.
Well, like I said,
Zartan is who kills the Hard Master.
Well, this is a reset. It's not really connected to any of that.
I can understand trying to reset and like modernize some of the details, but yeah, like Charlie says, I mean, end of the movie, he's got a full face. He has a working voice.
Yeah, like I said, like if you're resetting it, then reset it for the things that went wrong last time.
At the end,
double down on the things that aren't good.
And at the end, I mean, the clan gives him that suit. Yeah, he just throws on the helmet, closes up, and he jumps on the bike to go after Storm Shadow. He's like, I'll bring Storm Shadow home. He tells them, and then we get a mid-credit scene where we see the Baroness, basically, saying, "Hey, Storm Shadow, come work for us. They betrayed you. Come work for us, kid."
So, yeah, but that, like I said, see, that's the thing, because the original G.I. Joe movie we had, it did have the Hard Master and the Soft Master. Mm-hmm. The death of the Hard Master, that is where Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes have their falling out. That's where he takes his vow of silence, which was lame, but and there was always the possibility that they're actually going to reveal that he did get his face blown off later.
But every other version, I mean, Snake Eyes has been an honorable guy, right? I mean, here it's like you kind of can't blame Storm Shadow because he would never have been thrown out of his clan, out of his family, if Snake Eyes hadn't stolen this magic rock in the first place.
Yeah, this. Oh. You know what this kind of reminds me of? It's like people who don't know the characters writing stories about the characters.
I know. Oh my god! You want to hear the best part of this? To get into the little vault thing in the wall, to get the magic rock, you need only certain people, like you put your thumb on the scanner and I guess it like samples your blood or whatever. So to get into this, how does Snake Eyes get past that? Well, he swears like a blood oath with Storm Shadow, they cut their palms with the sword and, shake hands. And then he wipes his sword off with like a napkin and then he slaps that bloody napkin on the scanner. And that supposedly that works to open the door.
Oh, because it reads the DNA?
I guess. But I'm like, would that work with like a,
Well, I mean, like you could transfer a blood fingerprint like that kind of thing. I mean, that's
literally a fingerprint. It was just blood. That was it.
So it was, so obviously it works off of some kind of DNA. Did they say it works on DNA? It reads your DNA at a molecular level.
They really didn't say. All they showed was Storm Shadow putting his thumb on the thing, and it's like I guess taking like a prick of blood or whatever.
Yeah, or just reading his DNA. But
that they showed like a red, when he put his like a little red splotch. So it had something to do.
Oh, so it does read his blood. Okay, so it's taking a blood set. See, that does not seem sanitary. That seems like a really easy way for everyone in your organization to suddenly get some horrifying bloodborne disease. Because you just need the one guy. Well, yeah.
No, whatever it's the most common. Yeah, it's the most common thing in America. It's true.
Yeah. Is just someone, but the idea that everyone has to put blood on this thing, and like unless they're cleaning those needles on a rotating basis, it's not working, man. That is bad. That is just a bad design for the whole system.
I mean, if you want like a movie you don't have to think about, and it's just, I mean, yeah, there's a ton of plot holes, but if you just like, pretty action, I mean, the action scenes were great. I mean,
first off, why would that be a selling point to any movie? Hey, it's a great movie. You don't have to think about it.
No, that is a selling point for people.
I'm not talking to you, but some people, Charlie.
No, yeah, I don't know.
You just want to. It's hot outside. You just want to sit in the air conditioning and watch some chase scenes and some action.
Well, no, but that's the thing. That's what I'll say. Like a chase is good, but here's what I say: if it was just like explosions in car crashes 3, if it was Jackass, that film. You go in there, it's just stuff blowing up. That's going to be fun.
Hey, for the Fast and Furious people, there is like a car and motorcycle chase.
Nope, it's garbage. Just like the Black Widow action was. Don't ever compare action to Fast and Furious with me here.
But what I'll say about Fast and Furious is apparently there's some semblance of emotional arc for people. Like, yes, it's ridiculous. Family.
Don't try to make it more than it is, Charlie.
No. But I'm
we
saying
don't do that here.
Here's what I'm going to say: if you have plot holes, that's fine, so long as they're filled with emotional baggage.
Oh, this is a gaping plot hole.
Yeah, it just seems like there's not a real emotional core to it. Because, and again, I haven't seen it, but it sounds like from what you're describing that we never really see what the bond is between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I don't really see what anyone's bond is here, except I guess they fight and
well at the beginning, the
are pretty.
Well, in the beginning, I guess Storm Shadow was like a spy in the Yakuza, and they find him out, and they're going to kill him, and Snake Eyes saved his life. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to take you home. I trust you with my life now." And even the other people in his clan, like his chief of security, she's like, "How do you know you can trust this guy?"
Okay, so they do have Snake Eyes training with Storm Shadow.
I mean, he saves.
No, they just have a meet cute.
Well, he takes him home, and he's like, "Okay, you can join our clan if you pass like these 3 tests."
Can I keep him? That's
what I said.
How long is he actually with the clan? So let's start with that. How long is he with Storm Shadow's clan? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? Is it a year?
I mean, it's not long. It can't.
Okay, so it's literally just he's on summer break with Storm Shadow's clan. So that's not the bond.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're a shipper and you've got that Snake Eyes Storm Shadow ship in your catalog, I'm not talking about you, Lilith, but I saw you pause.
Just taking a drink.
If you're there, then I can see that. Oh, okay, that's the passion. That's how you weave that story. I get that. But if you're not a shipper, you need a little more depth to this. You need not to beat a dead horse, but the Larry Hama brothers in arms, they shared something together, and now when they come home, and Snake Eyes has no one because his family has died. It's a very sad story. Snake Eyes always has a sad story that he brings him, says, "Come in my family. You are my family. You are my brother in blood, and we'll be together with this, and we can work through it." That's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
This other thing, I don't know what that is.
I mean, if they had fleshed some of this stuff out here, this could have been a better movie. Again, his father gets killed. Again, no mention of the mother because, water.
Who produced? What studio is this from? I want to say it's Paramount, but I don't think that's right.
No. Here, let me double check this. I forgot the best part. The 3 tests. The last test, you have to unburden your heart and tell all your secrets, or when you get lowered into the giant chamber in the ground, giant snakes will come out and eat you if you do not, if you're not honest and unburden your heart. Giant snakes. I mean, these things could wrap around.
I'm sick of these mother effing snakes.
Were they at least poorly CGI'd?
Yes.
Tell me they were poorly CGI'd.
Yes, that's what.
Did one eventually vomit up Angelina Jolie's dad?
Oh.
It's Anaconda season. Everybody wants to be Anaconda right now.
But that's how he takes out the main accused guy at the end. Has the snake eat him. Production companies: Skydance Media, Paramount Pictures Studios.
Yep. Okay, that's what I thought.
Paramount. So I guess this will be on my CBS All Access later, or my Paramount network.
I don't think
Paramount Plus.
I don't think it's right yet. I thought because I'm pretty sure it said.
No, they gotta wait for the theatrical window to close.
I mean, in 2 weeks I'll be able to see it. So that's my point.
Not yet. Because right now, look at the bottom picture, only in theaters.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like I said, I knew when they just had him come out and say, "Howdy ho, folks, my name is Snake Eyes." I knew that this. I know that didn't happen in the trailer, but that's what it felt like when you had a character who was built on layers of mysteriousness and this history, and then when we first get our glimpse of the secret origin of Snake Eyes, that was so great. And I know they've done several other secret origins of Snake Eyes since then, both Larry Hama versions and other people's versions. The point is, the man was supposed to be a mystery, but when we got the mystery revealed, it was great. It just seems like they didn't build up enough mystery with this character, and it just... Now, again, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I'm just commenting blindly on the clickbait at this point.
And I mean, you don't get a ton of her, but I'd say the best character, the most accurate that we've seen before was Scarlet in this.
Well, Scarlet is great as a character. She is always meant to be Snake Eyes' equal in Larry Hama's version, at least,
Mm-hmm.
And she's always meant to be, on that level. And in the cartoon, of course, all of her brothers were, karate experts as well, because that's what their family did, is they were just karate, kung fu fighting people.
So yeah, Luca gave this a 5 out of 10, and I can't say I got this much higher.
Well, to be fair, Luca. Oh, 5 out of 10. Okay. Well, okay. So, wow, man, that Luca sounds like he is embittered then.
There's the Luca. He's taking right after his Aunt Lula. Just give it the old people.
Yeah.
That's a thumbs down, Daddy.
And two, I mean, it's not like us. He really isn't that familiar with the classic G.I. Joe or any other version of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a terrible story with G.I. Joe slapped on top.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah, just on the merits of it itself, he's like, yeah, I don't like it. I said, was Black Widow better? He's like, oh yeah, way better.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like, here's what I'm going to say, that just shows you what the misstep is from them, because their point is they want to hook young Luca on G.I. Joe as a concept, as a character, as an idea, so that he'll say, "Daddy, I'm real into Joes now."
Should have just made another cartoon, bro.
I was gonna say, hey, there's one. There's one 8-year-old they didn't get. I mean, again, when we left Black Widow, we're like, oh yeah, remember she dies at the end of like Endgame. He's like, oh man, he's like, I wanted more Black Widow movies of her like traveling the world and like fighting crime and stuff. But yeah, this one he's like, yeah, no, it's boring.
Well,
we're getting a Batgirl movie, so he can have that.
Oh yeah, they cast a Batgirl.
That's right.
Yes, who is that person?
We talked about that over on We Are the Night, the Batman podcast.
I keep forgetting here. Let me bring this back.
Leslie Grace from In the Heights.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, well, cool. And for what it's worth, that's a I know, Lilith, you can say we already talked about that on this other podcast.
I was just teasing. I was doing a plug.
Okay, yes. And that's the thing. We do much more in depth of certain topics on all of our many myriad podcasts, which if you go down to our show notes, we can link to those in the description, and go to Linktree. I'm sure that's got something there. They'll say, here's how you listen to, like, if you want to just search for Lilith Hellfire podcasts, you can do that. You can find your Phil Parrish podcasts there, and you can, like, I'm guessing there should be a thing where you can just click on the star you want to hear more of.
I just have the links for the shows, but no, I'm not going to do personal now.
No, actually, no, Rob needs to do this. When you go to southgatemediagroup.com, you got to be able to click on your star of choice.
Funny thing you said.
Let's pay Rob Southgate to get him to update. He just updated the website after 3 years of Martha nagging him. So.
I'm just telling him, hey, look, man, he's always talking to me about synergy. I'm giving him brilliant synergistic ideas here. And,
he's trying to get us canceled, Phil. Hit the mute button.
Listen, you got to speak truth to power. That's the only way you make it in this world. I'm saying that, especially if you are building any kind of a storyline around brands, around these professionals who are doing these podcasts. If you are a fan of Maz, you want to know where else you can find Maz. You might not know to go to Happiness and Darkness to listen to him over there. You might not know where else has Maz been. And I know, Maz, he's that fine wine. He's kept. We hold him back just so you appreciate how good he is.
Without a doubt.
And and then you can look for Little Hellfire. You can look for Phil Parrish. You can look for these are the people that are making this brand
in your neighborhood.
Why don't you follow where they've been elsewhere? Why don't you know that? Oh, right now Phil is doing a guest. See. Rob, he may say, well, make sure you plug it in your show. It's like, great. But you know what? Since there's a central site we can all go to, and we can network that way to the fans via where everyone is in each show, just do a hyperlink in the show notes that when you click on Lilith Hellfire, it's going to take you to everything Lilith Hellfire's in.
No, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Where's my sweet summer child button?
I'm just saying, this is how you... Look, I know.
Send him a business email. I'm sure he'll take it into consideration.
Hey, I would love Rob Southgate to do that. I'm just saying, you're going to have to light a fire into Rob Southgate.
Okay, or, someone who knows what computers do. That's not my thing. I'm an ideas man. I don't build things. I just think of things. I'm like Elon Musk, I said, let's make rocket ships.
You're riding
Okay,
your
Mr.
rocket
Musk.
into space, or was that Bezos? Which one had the penis rocket?
They're all making rockets into
Bezos.
space, and Elon's the last one.
I love.
They keep on taking Elon's toys away because he's not good at his job.
Did everyone see the memes for the Bezos rocket?
Yeah.
All the
It was
doctors.
Austin Powers. It was like Austin Powers come to life. It was
I know.
insane,
Yeah.
dude.
It looks like a giant.
It's a big old Johnson.
Yes. But, and that's the actual real thing about it is that, Branson was the first in. And Branson actually has a space plane that actually does something.
Whoa.
Where you can say, oh, that's a thing it can do. It goes up and it flies, and then it lands somewhere. And it's not just this. And actually, I presume that it can take, a few people with him. And then they float for a bit, and then they're like, okay, that's that. Because none of them went anywhere. They didn't go to space. They went to the edge of the Earth's atmosphere and then came home. They didn't even go as high as Yuri Gagarin. That's what I'm saying.
Went further on his vacation.
Probably, actually, if you actually calculate the distance there and back again, like Bobo Baggins, yeah.
All right, before we run out of time, Lilith, why don't you tell us about Masters of the Universe Revelations?
He-Man.
As an OG He-Man fan, I'm talking all the comics from both companies, although I think DC's origins and lore is a lot better. That's just me. And a fan of the 2002 show. The biggest problem for this new show is that the 2002 show exists. They're billing themselves as a direct sequel to the 1980s He-Man that we all know and love. They're literally supposedly supposed to be picking up right after that series ended. And I'm just going to say, in case you don't know, it's over 31 episodes. I feel like nobody watched it. I felt like nobody was a fan.
Oh,
They're doing their own thing.
Kevin Smith claims that I don't know if he wasn't a fan back in the day, but the thing
that got him in hot water, let me tell you, I've been watching this whole saga unfold. And he threw one of my blogger friends under the bus for a tweet that turns out is very true. But he lied and said that he was a fan, that he loved it, and then it came out. People started digging up tweets because he pissed them off with the Tila thing. And come to find out, there's tons of interviews. Oh no, I don't really know much about He-Man, and that's classic Kevin Smith. We all kind of know that, right? It's not his stuff. Let's just be honest.
He cries his way into jobs. That's how he got those directing jobs on The Flash and Supergirl, wasn't it?
I'm not gonna go there. I mean, he did a fine job there, but he's just the executive showrunner, and he wrote the pilot. The next 4 episodes he didn't really have. He didn't write anything, but he set the tone and the direction for the show. And I like the premise. It's He-Man and Skeletor. Sure, they took up the show, but the show was called He-Man. There's a reason why this show is called Masters of the Universe Revelation, and the revelation is that magic is dying in Eternia, and that's why Orko's dying.
So is he dying or is he dead?
So only the first 5 episodes dropped today as we're recording July 23rd, 2021. In the first 5 episodes, he's still dying. And he said that in an interview that they kind of scrubbed off of Twitter like 2 days ago, he said that Orko was dead. And then they had to go edit the video and fix it. But yeah, he basically spoiled that he killed Orko because he found Orko annoying when he doesn't know that Orko's the heart of the show. That means you don't know jack about He-Man. If you say that Orko's annoying and he is not the heart of the show, you don't know He-Man.
Yeah, this is Scrappy Doo all over again, man. I mean, I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but you don't.
He's a fundamental part.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that He-Man and Skeletor. Okay, if you don't know, Skeletor is voiced by Mark Hamill. Why wouldn't you want more Mark Hamill?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mark
and
Hamill.
And he's like literally the first episode, they kind of go off and do their own thing, and the other people, and I like that other people get a chance to shine. We have a really great talented voice cast. We have Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila, we have Henry Rollins as Triclops, we have Cree Summer as Priestess, we have Chris Wood as Prince Adam himself. Who else? We had Lena Headley as Evil Lynn, which honestly, if they did a live action, that is literally perfect casting. Yay for that. Diedrich Bader as King Randor, although he seems a little more harsh than he was in the original show, and I don't know how I feel about that. He was never really a hard ass or, like a straight up dictator. And then my favorite thing is Stephen Brute as Cringer. Oh my god, yes. I didn't know I wanted it until it happened, but
are they both
and of course Kevin Michael Richardson is Beastman. Like the whole, and Kevin Conroy is in there as Merman, but he doesn't get to talk. Oh yeah, actually the first episode he does talk to Skeletor, so that's fun. Little fun thing.
Does he do the voice
animation is beautiful, but the story is just kind of it's not there. It feels very superficial and half-hearted. It's very fake woke. They think that they're doing something when they're not. They're only like doing half measures for like diversity for diversity's sake and then they don't even have the balls to actually say, yeah, Tila and this girl are, lesbians. They're just really good gal pals,
Wait, Tila and Evelyn or Tila and
No, not Evelyn. There's another character that's in this show. And that's her girlfriend, but they don't say it, but that's her girlfriend. They're just really good gal pals being, really good gal pals.
See,
that have been sharing an apartment for 30 years,
See, because to me, actually, the one episode that has always been one of my favorites is when Tila and Evelyn have to do like an enemy mine thing. Back in the 80s.
That's basically the premise of the show, to be honest. So it's like we get He-Man and Skeletor out of the way. Eternia is dying because of lack of magic, so everybody's trying to find, more magic and how to fix Eternia. So the good guys and the bad guys have to team up. So it's literally that episode is pretty much the premise for the whole series. Thus far,
is He-Man's mom in this? Because she's the Earth astronaut who has the warp drive.
And I think they're going to ignore that whole thing.
No, that's central to the plot. That's
5 episodes in, that hasn't come up, so they're ignoring
okay. Because that's like because he's saying this.
Like I said, I think this is more based on the
This is a sequel to the '80s series, or is it the? It
is a sequel. It's a direct. This is the premise. It's a direct sequel. It's supposed to literally pick up moments after the other show ended to resolve issues from that show. But it has, in the first 5 episodes that I've seen, it has done none of that.
Do they teach an important lesson at the end?
No, that's all gone.
Then he never watched the show.
So
I'm sorry, because that's like.
But that was
like
specifically mandated. That was a mandated thing, though. So whatever. They didn't actually have.
Yeah, I mean, I know they wanted to do a more adult version, but honestly, that's the thing. Is like, to me, Kevin Smith is the guy you would bring in when you want to make references, when you want to understand the previous nerd lore.
Well, he didn't know. It's very obvious. And I feel like nobody really.
But then he should have hired writers who knew it. He should have said, "So do you know the nerd lore?" Yes, I know the nerd lore. Okay, great nerd lore person. Let's write some good.
He said 70% of the staff voted to kill Orko. So there you go. That's all you need to know.
70% of who? The staff.
The staff writers. They had like a big discussion of like he's like Orko's kind of annoying. I want to kill him. Do you think it's a good idea? And that's why we got what we got.
Okay, well then he hired the wrong people. I think that's
the animation is beautiful. Some of the storylines are okay, but like it's so built as a direct sequel. Like I said, the biggest problem for this show is that the He-Man 2002 cartoon exists. It's very much better done. Like, go watch that instead. Yeah. That's all I can say.
So how many episodes is this going to be total?
It's supposed to be 10. So part 1 dropped. I don't know when part 2 drops. I'm assuming somewhere around Christmas. Let me see if they said when the next episode.
So is the theme of today our childhood dying before our eyes? I mean,
my childhood's been dying forever. It's
universe.
Okay, childhood was ended when Andre the Giant gave
dropped the
World Wrestling Federation belt to Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. When Andre the Giant did a heel turn, that's when childhood ended. Okay,
for you. But I do want to shout out the fact that they have an after show. So if you do like the show, you do want to hear more of Kevin Smith's poopy cock, go ahead and go watch that after show. I think it's on Netflix as well. Let me double check.
I do want to say this because you mentioned Cree Summer. Yes. Did you know that Cree Summer, apparently her father is Frank Summer, who is the voice of Boba Fett in the holiday special? She is the daughter of Boba Fett. And I just find that beautiful because they did a little, I guess maybe hyped for this. They actually did an interview with Cree Summer and like the 5 billion characters that she has voiced over the many, 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 many years, because she is about as prolific as Tara Strong in this industry.
That is correct, sir.
Which makes me wonder, like, how many times have they been together? How many times have they worked together? I'm guessing a lot. Or is it one of these things where it's like, no, they're never in the same place?
Shockingly surprised, yeah. It's one of those shocking facts.
Like they're never in the same room at the same time. And then it's like, then we must bring them together, and that is going to be the greatest voiceover. They should just do a show that's just Tara Strong and Cree Summer. Just the two of them. And every character on
My
the
Little
show.
Pony? No, I don't think she did a voice on My Little Pony.
Tara Strong or Cree Summer?
Cree Summer. Tara Strong is My Little Pony.
Yeah, I know that. I was going to say. So, yeah. Because I was thinking maybe Codename Kids Next Door, Tara Strong had to show up in there at some point. But
we need to talk.
Did she do a lot of work for Cartoon Network?
I don't know, but she's done a lot of work.
That's like a thing about voice actors, too. Like, they kind of...
So then someone needs to make the Cree Summer Tara Strong Power Hour.
We need to talk.
Meet.
We need a documentary on Cree Summer called "I Know What You Did, Cree Summer."
Yeah.
So, but that is awesome.
I'm not so worried about that. I just need a different world reunion. I'm just being real with y'all. That's what I need from Cree Summer.
Yeah, she was in that too. She actually has done actual.
That's why I fell in love with her. But I absolutely love her as number 5 for Kids Next Door. That is my favorite role of hers.
Yeah, it's interesting because actually, she started in voiceover, went to face acting, and then went back to voiceover because she was also Penny in Inspector Gadget.
Yep.
Little blonde white girl, Cree Summer.
The magic of voice acting, ain't it great?
It is great. It is great. That is. I love that, and I love that she's been such a great part of everything, and so I'm glad she's a part of this too. And I'm glad when they do something that has. Although I guess, well, she is a face actor. When they do these face actor shows that have them doing voices, that they actually do have people that are, But then again, I guess the lines between the two have grown a lot over the years, at least among actresses. Because what's her name from Mad TV? The girl from Mad TV does a lot of stuff, and I'm blanking on her name again.
Are you talking about the lady that plays Lois on Family Guy, or another one?
No. Oh, her too. No, the blonde from Mad TV. She was the hot female in Star Command, in Buzz Lightyear, and she does a lot. And now she's on Blackish as the Karen-y neighbor.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'm trying to remember her name.
TV, man. Those guys.
Those guys were amazing. They had some of the best talent in the business. Mad TV really was amazing, and gone too soon.
Look what I can do.
So I would recommend He-Man for people that aren't emotionally attached to the lore. I think that it's a good show. Like if you don't have any emotional attachment.
If you don't know,
but that's the thing. If you're not emotionally attached, you can be emotionally attached to it and like new stories. See, the Snake Eyes.
No, but this is supposed to be a direct sequel. If it's a reboot,
I don't care what it's supposed to be.
It makes a difference in intention. It does.
Well, it makes a difference in.
Yeah, I don't know
if you're hung up on what someone said at some point that it was something, because that's a marketing statement. When someone says it's a direct this to that, that's a marketing statement. That's not a story statement.
Well, it is a story statement. That's the story they're telling. That's the universe that it's set in. It's not set in a new universe. It's not set in the 2002. It's not set in the comic books. It's set directly in the 80s continuity. So that is a story plot point.
I smell it coming.
That is the narrative.
I smell it coming. The Masters multiverse. I smell it coming.
Well, DC did it better in that case because we did do that where he teamed up with Skeletor and it was chef's kiss. Absolutely should read.
And apparently Paramount is doing the remember that play where they do the Brady, they had adults playing Brady's for a while. Like this was a little thing, it's indie theater stuff. No one knows what that is. Never mind. But yeah, apparently they're doing a series of that now because I just saw Paramount. They have adult actors playing all the Brady kids.
I think that's what prompted my my rant, my little mini rant about how Paramount and
which one?
The other one about them being the lowest on the totem pole of streaming.
Yeah. Oh, that was you were saying. Oh yeah, I think you did say Paramount.
Paramount Plus, and I forget, they're all terrible. If it's not Disney Plus or Amazon Prime, I do not care.
Yeah, all I know is Tubi's winning the wars. I mean, honestly,
for the nostalgia factor, and I still haven't watched the original program yet. I'll probably sit down next weekend and do one of the shows. I like Tubi. Tubi should sponsor us.
I'll be honest with you, Lazarus did not speak to me, but maybe that's just me. It seemed like just another dead guy comes back from the dead story. But
Dead Like Me, or what, or the Dead Zone.
No, this was like it's a superpower kind of like a Mr. Immortal kind of thing.
Okay.
You kill him and he comes back. Sort of like if Michael Myers was a superhero, I guess.
Nice.
There's another one of those coming out.
Okay, so enough ranting and raving. Let's get to some comic books. We're 46 minutes in. We got some Ray feedback.
Well, okay. So do you want to do Moon Knight first? Because we do have Ray.
Yeah.
Before Ray falls asleep, we should let him hear his voice. Because I know he stays up to watch us live.
Well, I know, Lilith, did you say should we play the feedback first?
Yeah.
All right. Couple.
And then that way, if you guys at home haven't read it, you'll have time to read it while Ray gives his feedback.
Yeah, it's a little bit. All right, everyone. Here, the host of
book, though.
Yes, and he should know, host of Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
It's the only one.
That's right.
The only one worth listening to.
Hello, Phil, Lilith, and Charlie. Just dropping in my thoughts for the first issue of Moon Knight by Jed MacKay and Alessandro Cappuccio. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. I think it's fair to assume maybe varying degrees of Moon Knight fandom between the three of you. So I'm sure there are, different perspectives. But I can only give you a perspective from a fan of a hardened fan of Moon Knight. I thought the issue was really rock solid. As first issues go, we all know that it's there to set things up, but MacKay jumps straight into it. We get opened. We open up with an action scene with vampires, which is great. There's action in between it as well. At the same time, though, we get almost a recounting or an introduction of really what is Moon Knight through his discussions with Dr. Sturman. So at the same time, it's an introduction to potentially new fans or people wanting to learn more about Moon Knight. You get that without it being overbearing as like an origin story again. But concurrently with that as well, what I found really interesting was the adherence and the reverence to the source material of Moon Knight in canon. So MacKay has obviously done his homework, and he's actually referenced multiple volumes of past Moon Knight runs, which is really fantastic. I mean, I think any fan of a particular character who enters a new series will always appreciates those nods to the older runs. So having that subtly done by Jed MacKay, I thought was utterly satisfying. In particular, he actually references Mark Spector Moon Knight, which is an often overlooked series of Moon Knight in the 90s. So we have Dr. Sturman saying that we get the roundabout flashback of his origin, being resurrected at the temple, his relationship with Khonshu, but also the fact that he's died twice after that. And she refers to Moon Knight, Mr. Knight refers to both issue 28 of Mark Spector Moon Knight, part of the Scarlet Redemption, where Moon Knight is thrown or stabbed and thrown into the Hudson River by stained glass scarlet, and pretty much dies underwater, but he's kind of revived by Khonshu there. And issue 60, the last issue of Mark Spector Moon Knight, all to do with the Shadow Keep and Spectre Corps and Moon Knight, or Mark Spector dying at the end of that series. So that was referenced in this run, as well as countless little nods to, say, the Houston or the Ellis run. There's Dr. Eliza Warsame, which she was introduced in the Ellis run, 2014, and much of the Brian Wood run, which featured after that, issue 7 to 12. You get 8 Ball talking about, don't cut my face off. Very, very Houston, influenced big Houston event there as well. So, there are a few others as well. I mean, mentions as well of his mercenary work in Africa and South America. Again, you could imply that's Bosco Verde, that fictitious South American country, which featured the trial of Mark Spector, again in Mark Spector Moon Knight. So plenty of references to draw from, and I really did enjoy that. New characters, Reese, the vampire, I thought was really cool. We don't know too much about her. I liked her introduction, and her relationship, I think, with Mr. Knight is interesting. I mean, there's that kind of quick exchange where he asks her to get coffee and she goes, "Go get it yourself." But later on, towards the end of the issue, she comes out and brings him a coffee. So there's a I don't know. There's a respect. Well, he did save her life, but there's a mutual respect between the two, which would be interesting to explore. Also, of course, did not expect the reveal of Hunter's Moon this early on. I mean, we know that issue 3, the cover has Hunter's Moon. There have been a few loonies that have pre-ordered plenty of those issues in the hope that this is the first appearance of Hunter's Moon. That's going to go up in sales. He actually appears first in issue 1, which, is interesting. Dr. Badder. Dr. Badder. Interesting character. I did not expect him to be Hunter's Moon. So when he was first introduced beating 8 Ball, I just thought he was an acolyte from the cult of Khonshu, and he just, there was something working there. I did not expect him to be Hunter's Moon, but the left fist to Khonshu, such a great idea. I love it. And also, on top of that, two-pronged attack, this mysterious figure in the shadows. Now, amongst our ITK community, many theories abound. By the time this episode comes out, our reaction episode would have dropped. I've left my theories as to who it is. There seems to be a very Spidey element. I mean, we see Vermin. We see references to Hunted, the Amazing Spider-Man arc, where Vermin gets his cloning abilities. Who does he get it from? Arcade. And that's my pitch for who that man in the shadows is. Number one, Jen McKay in our interview said there's going to be no big Moon Knight villains featured. And number two, he's known for his broad brushstrokes in villainy. He's known for his high body count. He refers to Mark Spector as his new project. He really does think of it and everything as a game. And he's got that killer smile, which he tends to have as well, very Joker-like. So I don't know. I could be way off. Half the fun is speculating who it is, and that's again a strength of this issue for seasoned fans, and again for newcomers, just kind of giving that unknown and giving it a little bit of a twist. Keep you guessing. I really enjoyed this. This first issue, very solid, as I say, as setups go, but it ticks the boxes with everything else. It was paced well. It had enough action. The only slight I would give is potentially the art. Cappuccio does well. Moon Knight looks fantastic. Every time you see Moon Knight or Mr. Knight, he looks fantastic. A small thing, the backdrops and the backgrounds, some of them are really well detailed. I love it. Those splash pages have it. But sometimes with establishing shots where, so to speak, the camera's zoomed out, a lot of the environment is a little sparse and a little clinically drawn, I think. And some of the action scenes tended to be a little silent. I would have loved to have seen a few more sound effects with his fight amongst the vermins, so to speak. And at the beginning of the van, that opening action piece really should be, it should be going off at, volume 10 in your head. It's a visceral action, opening action sequence, but it seemed to just lack that. And I'm putting it down to maybe the backgrounds and maybe just maybe a few more sound effects would have been cool. Small quibbles, but I would definitely give this and maybe like an A minus. I think it was a very top way to start off a series. Anyway, I could go on forever. I'll leave it at that. Please, yes, dive deep into this issue. I'd love to hear all three of your thoughts on it. And I'll leave it with that. May Conchi watch over the denizens of the night. Catch up.
Wow, I don't think we got to cover this book now.
Okay, well, no, because I got stuff to say.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I'm sure.
First thing, the secret villain.
Yes.
Better effing not be Frenchie.
No, like he was saying, it's probably arcade. He's thinking it's arcade.
See, I don't think it's arcade. Just because I don't see arcade taking that personal interest and being that offended by you believe in things, and that's why I have to destroy you. Captain America believes in things. Arcade isn't trying to destroy Captain America,
or unless someone hired him.
Well, yeah. If someone hired him, yes. This guy seems to be someone who's paying it. This seems somewhat personal in that sense, which is why I hope the heck it's not Frenchie. Which is like, oh, where's my Frenchie in this? But assuming it's not, because there's nothing really that makes us think it's Frenchie. That's also one of those things that, like, oh, there's nothing to make us think it's Frenchie, and then we think, oh, maybe it's Frenchie then, because it's like Loki, man. It's like, oh, maybe it's just a long con. I don't know, but
I mean, I trust Jen McKay. I mean, this, our writer on Black Cat. I trust this guy. Yeah.
My actual thought is that's actually what's his name? Bullseye. Because I think Bullseye is crazy enough that would be a thing he'd do. Bullseye does have a crazy smile. They've played up some Joker aspects to Bullseye in the past.
Mm-hmm.
As his sort of the anti-Daredevil kind of guy. And I could see him seeing Moon Knight as being this kind of person to take down. And also, for what it's worth, a person on his level. Although, to be fair, sometimes Moon Knight has superhuman strength. So, know your lane, Bullseye. Know your lane. It would be neat if it is Bullseye to actually show him like doing the research and plotting, because we never see Bullseye doing that. But Bullseye is always presented as being this guy who knows everything. And of course he knows everything and is ready for anything because he probably planned. So that's an aspect of Bullseye that we've never seen before. So that might be a really interesting way to expand the Bullseye character if it is that character. Beyond that, it may be something we've never seen before, because we've never seen Hunter's Moon, or Moon Hunter as I call him. I think calling him Hunter's Moon is kind of silly, because he's the Moon Hunter versus the Moon Knight. He's the left hand of Khonshu, the one that gets dirty. Because sometimes you gotta wipe your butt. That's why your left hand gets dirty.
Well,
never knew that. Okay, that's something about like medieval sanitation processes. But anyway. No, but when actually the first time we see Dr. Badir, my first thought was that it was Luke Cage, but that's a great tie back to the 90s thing. But no, it's not. It's just another bald big guy, and him really kind of taking Moon Knight to task about like, dude, we work for a god, and you've let our god be humiliated by foreign gods. That's not cool, dude. It makes a point, especially in this idea, if you're going to have this heavy religious connotation to your character. And it really seems gee, almost like some kind of colonizer, he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Mark Spector wants to have all the powers of Khonshu, but he's actually just he's kind of atheistic on Khonshu as a concept. That he's not still in service of Khonshu.
Well, after that Avengers arc, why would he?
Well, yeah, fair enough, but at the same time, then maybe you shouldn't be still plastering his name on something. That's like putting some Elgin marbles up in your British museum, Whoa. It's like they say the only reason why the pyramids are in Egypt is because the British couldn't move them. And it is literally just this idea that, if you want to get like onto layers into it, it's like, Mr. Spector, I know you're Jewish, and technically Jewish is a Semitic faith, and all that stuff, but you are Ashkenazi Jewish, and maybe you keeping the Egyptian gods reliquary as you do whatever the heck you want to do with no concern for the god that is arguably giving you power. Maybe that's an issue that you need to deal with, Mr. Moon Knight.
I mean, I'm not well versed in the Jewish faith, but aren't they questioning God more than like a lot of other religions?
No,
you
don't question God. You question no. So there's the idea that and it's sort of Job's thing, and it happens. When I say it happens in a couple different things, like there's actually another prophet that sort of wants to see God, and it's realizing that God is not what you think God is. And there's actually in the apocryphal Gospel of Judas, there's a lot of that in it as well, which is this idea that, what you think of God as is not God. That's just your way of interpreting it. But and that's not really what the Jewish faith believes either. But first off, there is no one Jewish faith. There's like every other faith, there's like 1,000 different variations in diaspora among it. So Orthodox Judaism, Reform Judaism, Reconstruction Judaism, they're all very different and unique things. In the same way that Roman Catholicism is not baptism. It's not called baptism. It's being a Baptist. I don't know what they call the Baptist faith.
Kojic.
I'm sorry, what?
Kojic. Or whatever.
Kojic. Okay.
Yeah.
And, the Mormons and all the different groups that have sprung out of Christianity, they all have some central tenets and beliefs, but exactly how they interpret those beliefs and work with them is different. Judaism, generally speaking, is a legalistic faith, like Islam and branches of Christianity, where there is a dogma and a doctrine that people follow that does have a lot of questioning of what the nature of morality is, but never specifically questioning the existence of God or God's role in our lives. It's always that there is God, God created us, and we seek to be with him or her, them, depending on your perception of God, because God actually is beyond gender. But you don't just say, well, I don't need God anymore. I'm just going to be an atheist. Or, which is, it doesn't really work for me. And I wonder if they're building to that, or am I just reading way too much into this? That it's like, that he's going to. Well, no, because I think he's going to get a comeuppance. I think there is going to be an aspect of this when Moonhunter comes into it, where it is going to be this idea that, dude, you can't just walk. You don't just. This is like the mob. You can't just walk away. You can't just walk away and expect to have everything you had when you were here. And if you're going to walk away and say, well, I'm doing my service, not my faith, then you know what? Well, then great, but then you don't have the faith, and you can't expect to have the protections of the faith anymore, like that whole coming back from the dead constantly. That's something that kind of tied to that God guy that you were working with, and now that you're saying, well, I don't need to worry about the God guy anymore, it's like, well, then, okay, you go do you, be an atheist, Mr. Spector, but maybe don't be putting his name in your mouth every 10 seconds, because that ain't your guy anymore. If you're not his guy, he's not your guy.
I I liked it. I thought that it's a great way to draw in new readers and be respectful to the older readers. I liked how all three like A, B, and C plots kind of dovetail together. You know, you got the random beating up random bad guys. You got the therapy session, which is nice to see because they kind of did make his mental illness a joke back in the day. So I like that he's actually like going to therapy and doing that whole thing. And then also I like how they're laying the groundwork for the big bad of this first run, or maybe the whole book. Who knows? I think that they're trying to be in it for the long haul. So it was a little bit of a slow burn, but I appreciated it. I love Jeb. I love the artwork. I think it's a great, solid number one. And I'm wondering if they kind of retool this and if this is how like actual TV series is going to be.
I don't know. Well,
he looks a little more swarthy than usual. I'm just saying, we got Oscar Isaacs.
I can say Jed knows nothing about the TV show because I think last week Ray actually did interview Jed, and he said he knows nothing about and no details about the TV show. So
that's nice. They'll keep it separate for a while. That's nice.
I mean, I thought it was nice that it's a good jumping on point for new people, but like there's stuff here for like people who read Moon Knight before.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what you can say about the TV show is they know nothing about the TV show except for that, Oscar Isaac's cast for it. And then the people on the TV show exactly what they're submitting as their scripts. So it's sort of that idea of what comes through probably has a little more. And at least that and to be fair, that's what the writers of the books always say. They don't know what's going on, but
I was going to say, there's a few people.
I don't know. Maybe that was like that. Like maybe that's a more modern thing because I know back in the day, like the Superman book had a lot of sway over the Lois and Clark TV show. A lot of sway, and it's the same thing with like that the DC TV shows right now. So
yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I'm willing to wager that someone's talking to somebody about something, and maybe it's all kind of very well. That's an interesting idea. Maybe you want to try something a little different. I don't know. Or maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'm going to tell someone about that idea. That's a good idea. But I think there's maybe it's a lot of telephone, but I think there's probably a lot more communication than we think.
But again, too, unlike Superman, it's like, sorry, Ray, Moon Knight's not exactly a household name yet.
But Disney Plus always wants their next big thing to be a household name. And people, just on the sheer force of it being Disney/Marvel production, it's gonna be a household name. Look at the Mandalorian.
The moment
people that weren't even Star Wars fans love Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing is they're always looking to.
We're always swinging for the fences at Disney.
Mm-hmm. Moon Knight may not be Superman, but Disney would love Moon Knight to be Superman. They would love Iron Man to be Superman, and exactly they've built these characters to be these.
Sorry, Ray.
So, or whoever they want.
I love that man.
They would be happy if Moon Knight was Wonder Woman. Okay, they'd be like, fine.
It's a lot of money.
If
I'll say that it was a very nice package, to quote Ray.
Yes,
this issue is a very nice package. I look forward to more. It's a very good
book. I actually am debating putting it on my pull list now. I really liked it. I did read Mark Spector Moon Knight in the 90s.
That was a really nice package.
Yes, I love that series. That was my introduction to Moon Knight. After reading about him in the official handbook to the Marvel Universe, like all characters, I fell in love with them from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Hey, how are you going to know the lore if you don't read the encyclopedia?
What edition is that, Charlie, that you're always referring to?
Well, it's the one from the 80s, obviously. So
it's all the old guys like him, Will. I mean, they all.
Yeah, it's the one from it's the original official handbook to the Marvel, the one with the interlocking covers.
They have it in an omnibus.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's outdated now, but
no, of course that was the one when that was back. That was back when Wolverine had bionic claws. For those who don't remember,
we don't do that here, Charlie.
Well, no, but that was one of the many things I mentioned to Brian Cronin over at CBR that he did do an article about. It's like, yeah, he used to have bionic claws. Isn't that crazy, dude? So yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. That was just how these stories evolved and grew over the years. But but that's where you meet them, and the lore remains, even if it doesn't stay.
Hey, Charlie, you can go to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast, scroll down a little bit, and there's an episode where Lilith Hellfire covered a few Mark Spector Moon Knight issues.
Whoa, that is amazing. Wouldn't it be great if there was some kind of link where I could just click on Lilith Hellfire's face and find all the podcasts she's in? Click on the link.
Yeah, my guest star appearances aren't as
expensive
as yours, though, so it'd be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
All right,
So I know you boys have another show to do, so I feel like let's wrap this baby up. You guys have a whole show to do your other comic books.
Yep, we've got lots of content.
Lilith is sobering up. All right, kids. So
including Radiant Black, if anyone's read it.
Oh, yes, I read it.
I'm not sobering up.
That's fine.
All right, kids. Yes. So send us your thoughts. Snake Eyes, Masters of the Universe, Moon Knight, anything. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find links to this YouTube channel. Find links to the Patreon. More and more stuff happening there. Links to merch. Links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics, because there's no other place for you to click on our faces and get all our shows. And please remember to support all things Southgate Media Group. Go to southgatemediagroup.com. Check out the Southgate Media Group YouTube channel. Check out the Southgate Media Group Patreon. Bunch of free and paid content there. And you can also support the Southgate Media Group by picking up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback, and get that on Amazon. And when you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group for Amazon right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that man who has no links on our pictures, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Nice mustache, Charlie. I get so much right. Mark my words.
All right, Lilith, where can people talk Masters of the Universe with you?
Oh, if you want to talk Masters of the Universe with me on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter @Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Instagram @Lilith Hellfire69. And of course, on TikTok, making comments, not content, @Lilith Hellfire69.
Fight me, Moon Knight nerd.
Damn straight.
Thought that was appropriate.
Be gentle with the package.
Charlie Esser.
Well, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once said at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog all one word @gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like it, which is not always Legends of Tomorrow. Sometimes it's The Flash. Why not? @Charlie Esser, that's CharlieSSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Ding.
Thank you, Maz. You've never lived until Maz has given you a ping.
Just so you know, yes, The Flash, that was the season finale on Tuesday, and Legends, I think, is off for 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Those slackers.
It only had like 10 episodes. But of course it is.
Hey, Lois and Clark just look at that. Lois and Clark take this. I mean, Superman and Lois is taking the same break before their last 2 episodes of the season.
I'll be glad when we get back to normal.
What? We never take a break because we have been your capes.
Sand.
Emphasis on lunatics.
We are glad capes and lunatics.
Passionate lunatics.
Thank you for the feedback, Ray. See, you could be like Ray. Send in your feedback. You gave Lilith almost 9. And remember, kids, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Good night.